Bla Xit Family, Bla Xit Family, Bla Xit Family. I hope you saw my advertisement. It was a little bit late, so I do apologize. But I hope that you can join us on tonight's stream. We're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. And for those of you who aren't aware, there's lots of things happening. In fact, today was the final day of the 24th conference that was here in the Gambia. And I did put a picture out so that you could see on the community page. So today is called Game Changer. So whoever comes first, please put a comment so I can see and say hello. Let's have a look at comments. Show. Oops. Okay. So please, yeah, put a comment in and let me know that you're here. Thanks for joining. I can see that there's some people here, and I really want to get into today's topic because it is a very interesting topic. And it's based off of some information that I've gleaned. Hi, Brian. Thank you so much. Can you hear me and am I clear? That's what I'd like to know. Can you hear me and am I clear? Brian Easley, if you wouldn't mind just telling me if you can see and hear me clearly. This is just a little mic check, sound check, and so you can see me. So it's just a little check. Greetings, Delano. How are you? Thank you for joining us today. And we appreciate you being with us. Just let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me. Okay, super clear. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so Arif Hassan, you're in Liberia. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, brother. Travel with Tay. Oh, thank you for joining us. I'm so glad that you're with us. For anyone who doesn't know, that's Shantae. Please tune into her channel and please subscribe to her channel, Travel with Tay, if you haven't already. She's had some really interesting content about a lot of the really kind giving that she's been doing, a lot of the philanthropy she's been doing here with the lights and so on with her project. Kwame, hey Kwame, there's a kiss for you because you've been with us from the very beginning, so thank you. Mimi, thank you, yes and yes, thank you Mimi. And Alexis Fowler, thank you for joining us, Alexis Fowler. So I'm going to start today's subject and you're probably going to wonder, oh, you're welcome, Tay. You're going to be wondering, what am I talking about? So there's two things. Today, there was a big conference in the Gambia. It's been running for how many days, African Boyo? Oh, African Boyo with me, because he was covering the conference. How many days? You can talk. Is it 3? Can you hear me? How many days? Just say 3 or show me a sign. 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, it was 3 days. And it was looking at the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. So it was very interesting looking at how we can help to develop small businesses into becoming international businesses. And so that is a big part of the game changer. You know, how can we become big players too? And how can we also be a part and parcel of a system which benefits us, as they say when the game is rigged. So I'm just going to say hello to some other people. Sarah A, Jolly S, hello family. Dibuffalo Soldieress, hello family. And Yamaya Abdul Ahad, thank you for joining us. So I'd just like to say welcome and greetings, so Nangadef, to those of you that are here in the Gambia. And also I'd like to say Kasumaike to those of you that are here in the Gambia joining me, Jorama, and also like to say Abinyadi. So greetings, Sister H. So there's a lot of game changers happening here in the Gambia at the moment. And of course, I've told you all about TAF City, which is going to be a huge, huge city here. And I keep telling everybody, please, please get in on the program. Please get involved from this stage here, because like any project, when you're in there from the earlies, you reap the benefits rather than being there when it's too late, when it's too expensive, and the barriers to entry are great. So we've given you a great opportunity here through Bla Xit. So please take advantage of that, and obviously the Bla Xit referral discount code. So that's very, very important also. So SK Productions, yeah, that's a very good production company, I must say. Worked with them myself personally. They're very good. There's a young man who works there called African Boyo, I must confess. Excellent. And I'm also got someone else in the house. I've got 2 other vloggers in the house at the moment. They haven't joined me just yet, but we have Mansa over there from Temji World. And if you haven't subscribed to Temji World and he's 360, please do so. He's in the house. And we also have Pixpective, which is another fantastic channel, and it's PIX and perspective, but without the E. So it's Pixpective. And that is another fantastic, and they are here in the house. So we're going to talk, and I'm going to get into today's subject because I need your help. So I want you to join me. So I'm going to put the address on the screen. She said on the. So hang on, let's get the invite up. Just one second, let me clip it, copy it, and let's put it here. Sorry, just bear with me. I'm just going to paste it and then put it into view. Okay. So don't forget, for anyone who does want to help support the channel, you can do a super chat, and we will put it on the screen for the world to see that you are supporting and helping Bla Xit. Now, obviously, I have to be careful with what we say now, because we are in the age of censorship, and content is being pulled down for various reasons, but the community guidelines have now become even more intense. So the if you like, scrutiny is even more intense. So sometimes I'll be using code words, but I'm sure you'll be able to work them out. But anyway, I want to talk about actually a series that was done on YouTube Originals. Yeah, and it was called The Outsiders. I don't know if any of you have seen it, the series, but the series was launched, I think, during Black History Month. And so I've been, catching up and trying to really delve into and look at the content and, look into the context also of the content. Now, bearing in mind that I used to live in the UK, I've left the UK and I now live in Africa. We live in Africa. Our family live here. We love it. It's amazing. So bearing in mind that the series was called Outsiders, I wanted to understand the context. Anyway, there were some great people in there, and I want to just call out their names because I always give credit where credit is due. So let's have a quick look. Oh gosh, here we go. This always happens when you want something. All these different pop-up things come up on the screen. Typical. And no, I haven't got my WhatsApp back up yet for anybody who's asked me, because several people have asked me. So if you have been WhatsApping me, you will not be able to contact me via WhatsApp just yet. So just still use our email, please. So here it is. Okay, so it's called We've Been Brainwashed to Think That Only a Certain Group Should Have a Certain Access to sounding a certain way. So let me read that again. We've been brainwashed to think that only a certain group should have certain access to sounding a certain way. Okay? Okay, now the contributor to the program in this episode, the conversation revolves around how living in America is a game and how it's rigged. And we hear from Mo Gilligan. This is what is written under the description. So I'm literally just reading the description, just to let you know. Philip Yeomans, Munya Chihuahua, Alex Scott, Fen O'Milly, Nico Milana, Leanne Pinnock, Elaj Balde, Alicia, sorry, my phone's gone off, Alicia Garza, Jadina Campbell, AD, Eunice Olamide, Suti Gatawa, please forgive me if I say any of your names wrong, George the Poet, Candice Braithwaite, Kaoland Morris, Sean Ross, Clara Umfo, Amanda Seals, Sophie Ducker, Jadena and Taylor Richardson, Jamal Edwards, and Minek, Chanel Ambrose, and Tanisha, and Sunny Briggs, and Julie Angua. So there were different people that all contributed to the show. And I would really like you to jump in on this subject with me. So the question was, is there a game? And so one of the first contributors that was there was basically saying there's a game. There's a game for us to conform. I'm just going to put my phone on silent. Sorry about that. There is a game for us to conform. And there you go. And there is also the game sabotaged against us. Yeah. Hi, African Hearts. Yeah. So please join me. This is a really, really important discussion because I want to talk about being an outsider outside of the UK or outside of the West. So I want to talk about that. It's very important, to show that this is a game changer. So when you leave the West, when you leave the UK, when you leave America or wherever, the plantation is, that this is also a game changer. Because it was something that wasn't really mentioned. In fact, one of the contributors did touch on the story of Roots. And of course, Roots brings you right back to Gambia. Kunte Kinte and Roots is the story of the historical aspects of just one family, bearing in mind that many, many, many millions of families had gone through the same situation across the continent. But the root story is a famous and familiar one. So he mentioned that. And he also mentioned the song Buffalo Soldier. And the fact that his mum had taught him that to contextualize who he was. And so that's the ultimate test of survival and entrepreneurship. Thank you, Alex. So there was other comments that were made, and this is what I want to talk to. So I'm going to hit on each one of these topics as we go along. So someone was talking about, we're in a culture where we either blend in or we stand out. Now, that was another thing. I was like, wow, I hadn't really thought about a lot of this when I was living in the UK because of the fact that you're so busy in the grind, in the work, in the system, that you don't get as much time for self-analysis or to decide. Like, I made a decision. I decided I don't want to be there anymore. I decided that we are going to leave. I decided that I want to live with my own people. I decided that I want to learn my own culture, and I want to learn, I wanted to learn about myself. And there's a word in Wolof called booga booga, and that is you have choice. You have choice. And so when I was listening to this, it burnt me, like, and listening to people, and it brought back memories to the extent that I kind of had like a weird kind of dream. But anyway, and then someone talked about code switching, about the way that you change when you're in one environment and then you change, your personality changes. Come on in, hon. Adrian's just joining me now. And how your personality changes and the way you speak changes, your posture changes, even your nerves change. Oh, okay, but so Adrian's taken off my mic. Can you still hear me? It's not connected. Oh, okay. So are you in? Hang on, let me just change the camera 1 second. I'm just making sure we're both in. I hope you can see Adrian, everybody. And say hello and I'll carry on.
Bla Xit Family, Bla Xit Family. Greetings to everyone. Hope everyone is doing well, you know. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so I'm talking about, I'm going to put his phone away because I know he's going to get distracted.
No,
okay. So, Age, because you wasn't in the room, I'm just going to just quickly recap, if you don't mind. Yeah, Africa Bound. We're talking about game changer, changing the game, just changing the game, full stop. And that is what we've done. We've changed the game. And so when I watch The Outsiders, which is a YouTube original series, yeah, and it has a number of different programs in it and different contributors who I just mentioned. And this program is called Is There a Game? Is There a Game? Okay. And so the thing is that, do you need to be a part of the game? Now, that is the question. That is the question. And do you have the power to change the game? And can you change the game from the West? That is the question. So we was talking about all of these different things that came up in this program. So I took notes, as you can see. I like to scribble things down. So I took notes because there were some things that just like, you know, affected me. And so someone was talking about code switching. Does everybody know what I'm talking about when I say code switching? Code switching, and I want you to join me on this. I want you to really tell me, you know, about the game changer, and are you in the game? Are you out of the game? Because I think if we get out the game, then we can start playing our own game. I'm going to say hello to Africa Bound because I said hello to Maxine. I'm going to say hello to Sunshine Jones. I'm going to say hello to Alex, Alexis, sorry, like a boss. So, and then we've got reassessing our looks. Now, that hit me also because since I've been here, I'm going to give you an example. I did an experiment, and I think some people noticed it. For a while, I decided that I wasn't going to comb my hair. And I was, you know, on YouTube. I'm not like a full-time YouTuber, as you know, everybody. I try my best to be a contributor and to be a bit of an influencer, you know. I try to help, you know, people to get home. I'm, like I said, this is not perfection, but I'm trying a thing, you know. I'm working with other people, can sometimes be haphazard, but we just got to keep trying and working together as a team. But, you know, one other thing was assessing my looks. And I went for a stage show where I didn't comb my hair. And I made videos, I didn't comb my hair. In fact, some people did make comments on it, yeah? So Amaya said he's completely out of the game, yeah? I'm completely out of the game. Hi, Juliet Sunshine Jones. Hi, Sunshine Jones. And so I didn't comb my hair. And I wanted to see if anyone here would say anything to me about it. Because in the UK, like, your identity was such a really big part of, you know, who you were. Like, making sure you had this appearance to go to work. There was a look which was professional, unprofessional, a look that was unkempt or kempt. And so Pirate Brain said, code switching is when you act or talk differently when white folks than you do without white folks. Well, definitely was code switching. Definitely was code switching. You're going to like, hello everybody, how are you? You're right, it's nice to see you. How was your day? Yes, how's the dogs? How's the cats? How's everybody? But that's not typically how you would talk when you go home. And, you know, it's not typically how you speak to your husband or how you speak to your children. So I think that we are all, you know, responsible for code switching. Now, do I have to code switch here? No. Do I have to really bother? Mohammed Jallo, I'm going to say hi to you. Yeah. Do I really have to, Nili I, so I'm going to say hi to you as well. Do I have to really bother about worrying about my appearance as much? Or can I take and embrace my image? And can I embrace my culture here? And I think that has got like more to do with it. Yeah. So also I had issues with people touching my hair. Yeah, B1, W1. Sorry, that was quite funny. So, you know, what are your thoughts? Hmm? Okay, so carry on, Julian. Carry on. Good job. Yeah, Joe. Don't touch my hair. I had issues with that, and it used to bother me. It used to really bother me when people touched my hair, especially without asking my permission, or touch my skin or my arms. I felt like Sarah Bartman, you know, like I was on display, or that, you know, there was something about me that was particular. That happened to me. I went to Italy, and I went to Rome, and I went to Cambodia, and people kept touching my hair. And I went to Wales as well, and people kept touching my hair, and it was so aggravating. It was so annoying. I felt like a specimen. But anyway, then they talked about the angry black woman. So it was kind of stereotypical, this program, the kind of issues that they covered. Yeah. And so, am I an angry black woman in Africa? Am I bothered about my hair in Africa? No, I'm not. And if you like, I'm the outsider, because I've left where, if you like, the place where my passport says I'm from, to come back to my origin. And so the angry black woman issue came up. And then they talked about masculine traits. And, you know, and they were talking about, you know, how, you know, black women have gone through so much. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, and then they was talking about the entitlement of black women being entitled to be angry. And so I really wanted to discuss this. So these are just a few of the things that I wanted to discuss here today, and you can jump in on any of them, because this is an open discussion. I'm just discussing, you know, the program Is There a Game, and the fact that being in Africa for me is a game changer, in that none of those things really affected me. Yeah. So Travel with Tay Tay said that assessing my looks, that's real. Being back, I've never felt so fat in my life. Oh my goodness. Do you know what? That is even painful to read. Why don't you come and join me if you can, if you're feeling okay? Yeah, fat in my life. I had to continue to remind myself who I am, because the identity here is crazy. And that is because your identity is being forged outside of you, outside of your vernacular, outside of your perception. Oh, so Kwame, but our queens are justified just as our kings too, if they are peed off. Now, listen, we have every right to be angry. Every right. I was in the bank, and they had CM, and they were talking about reparations for some of the people that had suffered from climate change. And I turned around to my beautiful black, you know, bank manager, and I said to him, before there was climate change, you know, we were taken as prisoners of war during this so-called slavery. During slavery, during transatlantic slavery, during transatlantic slave trade, during pre-transatlantic slave trade, during the Arabic slave trade, we were taken as prisoners against our will. Where's our reparations for 400 years? This was before your so-called climate change. You know, and so, yeah, I got angry. I've got every right to be angry. And I'm not going to apologize, because sometimes anger is the progenitor towards change. Because when you feel angry at something, you want to change the scenario, you want to change the system. And I got to give, you know, a big shout out to my sister Gina. She did a program on the Prime Minister of Barbados, Maura Moore, yeah, Motley, who is, you know, a great game changer at the moment. Maya Motley, yeah, Maya Amor Motley. Her name's Amor. Maour, Amor. Like love. You know, that's her surname, but begins by in. This is why I love my husband. Yeah, yeah, it's Amor. Yeah, AMOUR, like love. Yeah, go and check it. Go and check it. We always do this. Yeah, we're our own fact checkers. We don't rely on anybody else to check our facts. We check our facts for ourselves. And so, anyway, there was that, and then there was the angry black woman, which is the usual discussion. And so, I do want you to go and have a look at the program after this to go and have a look. And it's The Outsiders, yeah, and it's called Is There a Game? And it's one of the YouTube original series that came out for Black History Month. And then they talked about colorism, yeah, and it was talking about the fact that one of the contributors mentioned that if you're, very dark skinned, then you have to be exceptional. And then there was someone else that was a different shade, I guess, a different complexion. And she said that because of her complexion, which was a lighter shade of brown, that she felt privileged, or that she was probably privileged because she had made a program, and this program, she was talking about issues about color, and people were saying that you weren't entitled to talk about it, but she's still a person of color. I don't like of color or with color. She is still black, and she considers herself to be black. So I'm still loved it, even though referred to as a two-bub in America. Two-bub in America? Okay, I didn't know they said the word two-bub in America. I thought they only said it in Gambia, but you learn something new every day. So, and then they went on to talk about, her middle name is Maya Amor, if you go into it. So then they went on to talk about white supremacy and how the system diminishes others and degrades others and supports, am I right?
No,
Maya Amor Motley. I told you. Yeah, but it's Maya Amor. Her real name is Maya Amor. It's actually two names. I've watched several of her speeches. So anyway, sorry about that. So they were asking, is light skin a privilege? And I said, wow, that's interesting. And then they were also talking about European beauty standards. Yeah. Wow, US law, that's a very interesting statement to make. I listened to our Baba, Malcolm X, and he made it clear that Africans have every right to be angry if a racist or demonic system is pacifying us. Well, yeah, I am not going to pretend that at times I am not beside myself with anger, because I have every right to feel anger. When I think about what my ancestors went through and the bad deal that we have now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the bad deal that we have been offered now, I remember Dr. Frances Cress Welsing once said, to her sister that we're comfortable sitting at the table of racism and being fed its crumbs, and we've now got so assimilated, so comfortable with it that we no longer challenge it. And so that also makes me angry. The fact that, black on black people just will do the worst to punish each other also makes me angry. And when black people are punishing each other, black people jump in with bad mind and other things, that also makes me angry. But at the same time, you've got to know that these things are set up, these systems are put into place, and they're intentionally put into place to have a long lasting effect and impact. And so someone said about the Prime Minister that it's a game changer for Europeans, but she also spoke about reparations. I've got to give fair dues where fair dues are. She also spoke about reparations. I've watched quite a lot of her content to see where she's coming from. And yes, I'm not saying that. She has to also be diplomatic. And this is the thing, when you are in a position, you are playing, all sides of the game, and that is it. That's why I said it's got to be a game changer. When we are no longer playing the game, but when will that be? Okay, she's still recuperating. Okay, so Tay said, Assalamu alaikum, Essential Oil Queen. She said that this is why, Chawul Tate said, this is why we must always uplift others, because the system is continuously trying to break us down. And that is very true. And we help. We help to break each other down because we find it hard to celebrate success. We find it hard to contribute to others' success. And when there is success, and if there is any little problem, then we're quick to pull them down and not consider the fact that, you know, this is where am I? This is not where it's at. So Africans must be tuned into each other against a common enemy called so-called Western Hemisphere. That's by Kwame, and I quite agree with him. Why can't we just call ourselves Africans instead of blacks? I agree with that. I agree with that. I call myself an African. I see myself as an African. And Lisa Nichols, we're going to say hello. So there were some other things said. So I'm just going to still go through the notes because I want you to jump in. I don't want you to sit down and be quiet. I want you to jump in. You don't have to show your face. You can just call in. Okay. Wow. We got a super chat, everybody. So from Trouble Tay, which is for $100. Thank you so much. You know, I'm leaving this on the screen now. So if you wanted to come in, you should have taken it. I'm going to put it in the private comments so you can join us. Oops, hang on. Trouble Tay show. Thank you. I'm leaving it on the page for a while. I'm just going to paste the private chat. So if you want to go and join the stream, you can also get it from the private chat. So I haven't finished with this program yet. I haven't quite finished with this program yet because, like I said, and thank you for the support. We were just talking about supporting each other. Now, this is what you call support. And so I appreciate you. I just want to thank Shantae very, very much for the support. And everybody, just to let you know, Shantae, we're talking about businesses, Shantae is also launching her own business, which is quite exciting. And she has a fantastic line of African clothing. That's right. She has a fantastic line of African clothing, which is going to be launched on her channel very shortly. So please, please, please do go to Travel with Shantae, Travel with Tay. Go to Travel with Tay so you can learn all about that. So we do have to support each other and forget our differences, says Alex Fowler. Very, very true. And Travel with Tay says she wholeheartedly agrees. So said my prayer for us all to win. So Rob C said, this is excellent content. I like you guys. You're knocking on the door of the big picture. Thank you so much, Rob C. And Kwame, I'll say Sister Alexis 100%. So don't forget what I said. Booger, booger. That is in Wolof, and it means you have choice. Yeah, you have choice. And so the game changer can be your choice. We had that, didn't we, Age?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's been your game changer coming to Africa? I'm going to put Adrian on the spot now because it's too quiet.
No, I'm just listening, Jules. Reading the comments as well, looking at the feedback. What we need as African is a global mindset, a global mindset change. You know, we've been divided so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have adopted so many different cultures, you know, so many different languages. So it's like we only have the same complexion, but mentally, a lot of us is mindset is different. So what we have to get in control first is to get our mindset right. It's to get us believe in ourselves. You know, it's hard because at the moment, you know, it's difficult when we're coming out to doing business together. You know, we have to get on top of that. You know, we have to get raised loyalty as well. Something that we know that as Africans, we have to work together. No matter what happens, we must work and stick together. But we cannot underestimate the division over 500 years. It's not something that easily gonna go away like that, but we have to work at it. And yes, why is it important for reparations? Reparations will start help with the repairs. Because really it's difficult for us to do it because we don't have the financial power. You know, I'm not saying that a few black people don't have money here and there, but the financial community strength and power, we don't really have it. And we have to get that power. We must get that power, that financial power, so that we can educate our young ones. Because I mean, when I look at Africa here itself, I see many other groups coming back here prospering, but some of them is coming from loans from their country. You know, some of them might have government loans from their country. We don't have that. All we have is ourselves. And if we kind of unite and pool our resources together, we're gonna be in trouble. Because every other way is when they come into Africa, they come in with resources. And then they start drain what's there again. But when we come in, we're not coming with that kind of resources here. You understand? So we have to come with a mindset that we're going to pull what little bit we have. Yes, to start to open up, you know, whether it's pharmaceutical companies, well, we're going to need that anyway. We're going to need certain medical thing here. Whether it's big, large supermarkets, big cash and carries, we have to open up some of them big industries, you know, and that will change it for us. But individually, if we come and try to stand on ourselves individually, it's not going to be easy. We have to come together. We have to come together and work together and find a way how to do that. I know it's not easy because our mindset is set not to trust each other. You know, or let's pull each other down. I don't want this one get up above me. We have to stop that. We must pool our resources together. We have to work together as people. You know, because as I say, you're not going to change nothing unless you start changing yourself. When you start changing yourself, that's when you're going to start see things changing around you. You understand? It's good that we are coming back home. But what is our plan when we get here? What is it that we want to do when we get here? You know? Are we going to come here and just go run off in cliques? Because I'm from one part, I will stay with these people. Because I'm from this part, I will stay here. Or we're supposed to be really uniting together, knocking heads together. We have a long way to go. You know? Sorry, Robsy, we all are in the game because we all live on this earth. And so there is a huge game that is being played, and that is who controls the world. Well, yeah.
BlackRock.
Yeah.
BlackRock and Vanguard.
Yeah. But as I'm saying, Robsy, we ourselves have to find a way of changing our reality. Because the more they keep us divided, is the more they're going to control and rule us. But we must find a way of how we're going to work together. And race loyalty is important as well. And pooling our resources together. You know, I know we have fear. We have fear among us. Fear, and we should get rid of that fear. You know, we should get rid of that fear. But what I'm saying here in Africa, this is a good start for us. Yeah, it's a good start for us to start working together. Every little simple thing is like, you know, it's like, you know, let's, it's hard to explain when you're online because you just don't want to say the wrong things. But what I'm saying, we must find that unity. We must find that we're pooling our resources together. But until we could do that, we're going to find ourselves still at the bottom of the food chain. You know? And we have to learn to patronize each other's businesses as well. Come support your brothers, support your sisters. You know? And when we get here, another thing we have to learn is that things in Africa is different to where we're coming from. So we have to be patient as well and learn and understand the country that we move into. We have to just take it easy. It's not going to be the same as the West. Africa got its own way of dealing with things. You know, and the process here for things is slow, but it's better because they don't need to be rushing. That's what we do in the West. So when we get to Africa, we have to realize we're going to take on a new identity. You know, we're going to we just have to slow down.
Game changer.
Slow down. Yes? And unite. Don't try and see Africa through the UK standards.
Or American standards.
Or the American standards, or wherever. Just see Africa for Africa. You know? And as traveling Tate is saying, unity. But we have to get our mindset right. Because unity is something that we really have to understand. How we stop the name calling.
Tuko has made some very good points. So Tuko said, how do we stop the name calling and gossiping? And I mean, that is a problem. That is a problem that we have in our community.
Yeah, because what it is, a lot of our mindset is not really our business class. You know, a lot of our mindset is not really business class. We think like workers all the time, workers. But we need to move our mindset to business.
Yes.
You know, how we're going to generate income. When I look around Gambia, I see so many things that we could do. You know, factories. You know, these are some of the development that we need to come with.
Processing.
Yeah.
A lot of processing opportunities.
Well, yeah, we could see it.
From watermelons, mangoes, cashews, cashew juice,
even up to today was saying
nuts,
that.
cashew flour, cashew milk.
Yes.
And not just the Gambia, you've got Guinea-Bissau, you've got to remember that you can drive, you know, across and through. Maz is here and can guide you, you know, as to how long it takes to get there and how to drive. I mean, even just to go to Senegal, if you've got land in Bussorah, you can drive right across. Sorry, you can drive right across to Senegal. You never actually we did in our last program, so you should have watched, Kwame. Sorry. There you go. So we actually did. We've addressed all of them, and like you said, you call them rumors, and that's exactly what they are. Okay, so that's exactly what we was talking about. How do you stop the name calling and the gossiping? This is what she was saying. And then what do we have? We have someone come into the chat to, you know, lower the tone, yeah, and to address issues that we've already addressed. And so please go to our last live and please watch it, Kwame. And so there were some other issues that were brought up on the show. I just want to go to straight back, and the program is called Game Changer because I want to demonstrate to you the points that were made by these contributors to this show, which was called The Outsiders, which was on YouTube. So if you weren't here at the beginning, I'm just giving you a quick recap. So there was a program called Game Changer. And so this program is based on we're talking about the program, and it's called Is There a Game? Yeah. So The Outsiders is a program which was created by YouTube Originals, and it is There a Game? And it was mainly Black. It was, I think, only Black contributors to the program, and it was done, I think, during Black History Month. And so we were talking about I code switch for work-life balance. It should not be impeded on ESP with fickle excuses. But especially when my ancestors have contributed a lot and I haven't reached their rightful rewards 1 cent. African Empress, you're right. So we're just talking about some of the issues that were covered during that program. So I do want you to go and to look at this program, which is on YouTube Originals, and it's called The Outsiders, and it's called Is There a Game? And so the program was broken into different questions, different segments. And so we were going through the different segments. And so some of it was about conformity. Some of it was about, you know, playing the game, standing out, blending in, code switching, about your hair, what is a professional look, unprofessional look, angry Black women. It was about colorism, and is a privilege given to those people who have a lighter complexion to those with a darker complexion. To people who are darker complexion have to be more exceptionalist. Do they have to be more brilliant? And then we were talking about white supremacy, and is it diminishing? Is it degrading? And how it supports Black oppression. yeah, and is light skin a privilege in the white supremacist system? And so these are things that came up on there, and they were talking about also European beauty standards, yeah. They were talking about another thing that came up, which was quite important, was struggling to find your space. Struggling to find your space. So I wanted to address all of these, and I was hoping that some people would jump in and contribute, but obviously everyone's feeling quite shy today, but that's all right. And it was also, the last section was about decoding whiteness. And they were talking about the barriers that exist. And when they were talking about decoding whiteness, what I found was quite interesting is that they actually went into coding blackness. And I just thought, hang on a minute. Whenever it comes onto a subject about, decoding whiteness, we still keep retaliating to ourselves when it's not us that's created the problem. It's not us that's created the problem, but it's like we have this inner fear of, talking about the critical racial tension that there is and the critical racism problems that there is. I mean, recently, even me, I tweeted something. I don't generally tweet, but I saw a statement by Condoleezza Rice. I was so infuriated that I tweeted, and she was talking about critical race theory, and her analysis of it just reminded me of someone who is completely unaware of the fact that they are Black. It just didn't make any sense to me. So African Empress, I may be able to assist you on a small scale. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. So you have a way to transfer money to the Gambia would be such a great help for the economy in Gambia. Yes, there are many ways to transfer money here. There's different systems that are here, but I'm sure Travel with Tay Tay was here for a year and can assist with that. Yeah, and so I'm sure that you can be able to contact and swap details in the private chat room. So anyway, so they started to talk about being othered and being pushed out when they were talking about decoding whiteness without decoding the system. Because you can't talk about decoding whiteness without looking at companies like BlackRock. If you've never heard of BlackRock, go and look at BlackRock and look at how much they're worth and where the assets lie, and have a look at Vanguard. Look at those companies and see what they own. And then you'll see where we stand on the financial stakes. So we cannot play the game by their stakes because they created that. They created that money. They created that system. They created that law. They created a system of governance. And so you can't play their game. So I want to come back to that because that is really important because the program went on. So I'm going to keep on going on. And one of the important sections was where they talked about game changing, which is where we come to, if you like, the end of my rabble about the program. And I'm glad that the program was made because it's given me the opportunity to have this discussion about it. So, it's one of the good things that YouTube has done. The only thing I didn't like about the program is that there was too many profanities. But other than that, I thought, some of the contributions were quite interesting. And it was a diverse group. So, I mean, there was very different voices in there, but I'm just talking from my own personal perspective, and Adrian's talking from his own personal experience and perspective. And we can only talk as a Black heterosexual, married couple. And so this is our perspective. One of the game changers said, there's only two ways to change the game. It's either you play it like the previous winner did, or you change the rules so you can win. Yeah, that's what one contributor says. Yeah, so let us know your thoughts on that. So you can either play it like the previous winner did, or you can change the rules so that you can win.
Yeah, but you have to be in control to change the rules.
Aha, we're getting to that.
Yeah.
So the next one says, you've lost because the game, unless it's changed and you're not in it, because it's already rigged against you already. that is what somebody else said. And then someone else said there has to be adaptation of the game. Yeah. And then someone said that, you know, we're like good Negroes and we can't break out of the box. And there's no resistance. There's no resistance to the game. And then there's someone who says you don't need to play the game. And then someone else says it's either you're in or you're out. And then someone said that, you know, you can't get out of the game. So the question remains is there an exit plan from the game? Now, I spoke about Squid Games before. I spoke about you know, the various. I spoke about the various aspects of that, and it's funny how playing the game is now becoming continuous. And you know, the game now is that there is a lot of media manipulation going on at the moment. There's a lot of media coercion, a lot of misinformation, and the game is misinformation. And I can definitely.
But the game is fixed to us.
Yeah, of course it's fixed. Of course it's fixed. You know, I hope someone can come on and talk. Yeah, the game is definitely rigged. It's fixed, and so we've got to realize that we just cannot play that game. Okay? Let's discuss all these points now.
No, let me just hit the nail on the head because firstly, you're not gonna win a man game in his own country. Yes, you're not gonna win somebody that create their own game also, because they will just keep changing it on you. What we need to do as African people is to recognize that we have a continent. The continent we have feed the world. The continent we have is the most resourceful continent on the face of the planet. You understand? What we have to look at what we're doing as an African people.
Yeah.
You know? How is it that everybody could come and utilize the continent? You know, and make whatever they want from it. But we, the Africans, is still struggling. When I was listening to Nana Kwame, that's the Prince of Ghana, Jacob Caesar, he said, why are we out there looking for gold where we're actually sitting on gold? It's illogical. You're out there looking, you're looking for gold, but you're sitting on it. So why can't we realize that we're sitting on the gold? So now we're thinking about changing our other man's game. We can't change no one else's game. They don't create that game to suit their agenda and to suit their part of the world. We now have to come and create back our game here in Africa. And the problem is with our game in Africa, we could slow down every other game out there when we understand it. Africa is the breadbasket. Africa is what every other race out there depend on for their survival. Right? Instead of we fighting to go to the West and all that, why can't we work here and make it difficult for the West to come here? Because the West is coming here and taking away a lot of resources from Africa and then repackage it and sell it back to you. More or less the crumbs. You know? So when are we going to realize that we have to create our own African game? Because we could create the biggest game. Because we have the biggest resources. So this is what we have to, I don't know. It's like sometimes it's difficult for me to even talk because we shouldn't be here having these conversations. Because everything the world needs, they come to Africa to get it. Everything. So if we start to think about creating our game to suit us, where we control everything, because the most resources here in Africa is controlled by the Western powers. Remember, Africans don't need nothing from the West. If we work together and put our heads together, we don't need nothing from the West. The West need everything from Africa. We have to wake up and realize you cannot change another man's game. You have to create back your own game. Because you're not going to beat someone at the game because they will just change the rules.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah? But let's create our own Africa for Africans, home and abroad. It's over 100 years Marcus Garvey been telling us this. Marcus Garvey said any race that depends on another race for their own survival. No, sorry, I'm wrong, sorry. Any leadership, yes, that depends on another race for their survival is a leadership that will always enslave you. Why are Africans, why are we begging when we have everything? It's absolutely ridiculous. Your basket is full, but you don't realize that it's full, then you're out there begging. Why is Africa even begging for anything? Every single thing you want to sustain any community anywhere in the world is here in Africa. They're coming here and they're draining it. So why can't we see what we have? Because what we run into the West for is what they take from Africa and just maybe polish and shine it up to make it look good. Let's control our raw materials because they're controlling it at the moment. This is what we need to do. Take back control of the continent.
But we can only do that by coming home.
But as Bob Marley said, in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. We have to change our mindset. It's our mindset is what having us suffering. We have to stop look at the West, the Western model. We have to stop look at that because that was built out of us. Find back ourselves as Africans. We created the first university. We done the first open heart surgery. I mean, what have gone wrong with us? And that's what I'm saying. Globally, Africans need a mindset change. You understand? Africa is begging because they have been trained and lied to that Africa can't make it without the West. Yeah, but exactly. Exactly. But it's the other way around. The West cannot make it without Africa.
Cannot.
So we have to see that's the game we need to change.
Yeah.
We need to change it. Instead of go clockwise, let's go anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
We have it here. But the only thing that keeping us back is our mindset. Africa, we have the manpower. But it's our mindset. We have dependency syndrome. And when we do get rid of that, we're going to realize Africa don't need the West for nothing. Nothing. Africans, we don't need the West for nothing. The worst thing is we African teach them. Most of the things they have there is we have brought it there. We give 400 days, 500 days of our labor, our skills, our time. It's time we regain it. So that is why we were encouraging people to come back home, come back to Africa. And when we get here, we should work together as Africans. We shouldn't see no more division between us. So let's not bother with African, no African American, Africa, Europe. Let's stop that. Let's just see ourselves as just Africans.
We're just Africans.
That was just misplaced. I take on other cultures. So we have to see ourselves.
We were stolen. Back. We were stolen.
Yeah, well, we were prisoners of war.
Exactly.
That's what it was.
Yeah, kidnapped.
Yes. So when we come back now, back to base, back to the base, because this is our base, we have to find a way of figuring it out and work it out. This is not the joke. 500 years is not easy to get back.
No.
You understand? So we cannot have time for little isms and schisms. We have to look at the bigger picture, and that's what I'm saying. When we get back here in the continent, We must put our resources together. We must pull it together. Thank you, Delano.
Delano, thank you so much.
Yeah, for the €20. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes. But what I'm saying, we know what Africa need. We as Africans know what we need as Africans. Continental Africans know what Africa need. We're not coming here to teach them nothing. We're just coming here to give our support. We need it. You understand? Because continental African, they know what they need. We are no saviors, no savior coming home. We're coming back as victims of war. That's what we are.
We are victims of war.
Yes, so we're coming back to be with our brothers and sisters. You understand? There is no difference between us apart from some culture that we learn or whatever. But we're no greater than the Africans here. We are all the same people.
We are the same.
And it's time that we understand that we are all the same people.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Go to the villages. You don't see it.
Yeah. Sorry, Shebanema, I want to return to the Gambia, but I do not want to live behind a wall and barbed wire. How can I get around it? You don't have to.
It's your choice.
It's your choice. You can go to the villages.
Yeah. Remember I said booger, booger. You can live in a village. Yeah. Booger, booger. Yeah. You have a choice. Yeah. In Wolof, that's what it means. And so you don't have to, because I could take you to somewhere else where we also have land and there isn't that. Yeah? It depends on where you live and what you're protecting in where you are. Yeah? So it depends.
Yeah.
Yeah? I can take you to villages where you won't even see walls.
No.
Yeah? And so I think I'll be doing more of that.
It just
showing
like,
you more of Africa as well.
It's just like anything. I lived in London for how many years? About 17 years before we moved out to the country. Yes, but the problem when you live in London, it's completely different to when you move to the country.
Yeah.
When you move to the country, at least people say hello to you. In London, you never had that.
No.
You know.
No.
You find people talk to you more when you move to live in the country, and it's different. So sometimes if you come to the more developed area in the country, you might find a slightly different challenge to what you find living out in the villages. It's completely different. You know, if you're around the tourist area, you will see different things than when you actually go out to the villages. And because village life is good.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You know?
Village life is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love village life. And so what I'm saying is that if when you live in London, you'll have, CCTV, you're going to have, sensors on your doors and windows, you're going to have double glazing, and you're going to have double locks on your front, you're going to have locks on your windows, locks on your doors, and that is city dwelling, that is city living. Why? Because in lots of metropolitan areas, you'll find that they have high levels of crime. And I can, vouch for that myself. I can't tell you how many times my house had gotten broken into, even after we moved out. And also, my car had been broken into. It's just some areas are more high levels of crime than other areas. But I don't really want to dwell on this. I really want to get on topic because we haven't got very long left to drop.
Sheba, how could I get into the sort village as I do not speak the language? Sheba, you speak the language, but remember, in the villages, they speak English
as well.
And that's what I was saying. It's going to take some time for us to,
This is why we proposed a 2-year program.
You find that they speak English in all the villages anyway. Yeah. Because when we went to Buzura, they speak English there as well.
Yes.
Carlo, they speak English very well. But the whole idea of coming is to try and learn the local language as well. And if you're in the village, you will learn it. We have to give ourselves time. We must give ourselves time. It's a
game changer. The thing is that to change the game, you have to learn a new language.
But this is a game. If you're playing a game, you have to
learn the rules.
Learn. I've got to different stages to get to different stages. So according to you, you're learning. But people do speak English in the villages, and you'll be able to blend it. So what we don't want to do, Sister Sheba, is to keep putting up barriers.
No,
let's not put up barriers. Because at the end of the day, when they take us from Africa with different language, let's say, manage to get us to work in the West and build the West.
Exactly.
Yeah? So let's not put up barriers. Let's look at solutions.
No, but how do other people come here? Chinese come here. Chinese come here and learn
And
one
they
off.
get on. Yeah.
And they get on. Yeah. Lebanese come here and learn one off and get on. So we too, yeah. Duguma lingua one off. Yeah. But you have to try tutti tutti. Yeah. That and danka danka. Yeah. Or even, you know, in Mandinka, yeah, ding ding, do small. Yeah. But you will. You'll pick it up. You pick up the lingua. Yeah. So anyway, I do want to just recap because we're going to close very soon. This is a short one. So one of the things that I'm just going to focus on now is the game changer, and the game changer since being here. Yeah. I like this is what he said actually. So I want to thank Delano and I want to thank Travel with Tay Tay for their super chats. We really appreciate the contributions. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So thank you, Delano, and thank you, Travel with Tay Tay. So I just want to say that the game changer. Now this is where I'm going to show you the difference, okay? So these are the comments that were made during this program, which was a YouTube original program, which was called The Outsiders. It's a series of programs. I do suggest you go and watch because I found them quite interesting to watch. And like I said, some of it wasn't quite to my reckoning, but you know, at the end of the day, there were some points that were quite liberating and some points that were quite, you know, questionable, but at the same time, it was worth viewing because it's something that YouTube made that was a YouTube original that had Black people in it. And so when there's Black people in it, I go and I look. And so it said, is there a game? That's what it was about. So I just want to go quickly through the list to show you the difference between being on a continent. We have to go soon because we have to drop some people home. But living on a continent and being here and the difference between going and being there. Okay. So, so one there was talking about paying dues. Here, I don't mind paying dues. I don't mind giving back. I don't mind contributing to society. I don't mind doing any of those things. Why? Because I know that it's benefiting my people. And so that is different. You feel completely different, okay? So also standing out. No, I don't stand out. I blend in. So, you know, it's not like before where, you know, we were the minority in England. I can't even remember the percentage now. It's 10%, which is the minority or what they consider to be the minority, even though you're the world majority. People that are melanated are the world majority. But anyway, but you're still made to feel a minority whilst you're there. So here you don't have to, and yes, you do blend in because obviously you're surrounded by people who are just like you. In terms of code switching, you don't have to. Yeah, you do not have to code switch. The reason why you don't have to code switch is because there's no code to switch. You can simply be yourself. So this is a game changer being here. Yeah. Adrian, also you can, you know, contribute and jump in wherever you would like to. And assessing my looks and my hair. Like I told you, I did an experiment where I didn't comb my hair. I wanted to see how many people actually noticed. I wanted to see how many people commented. And how many people actually commented on it were people that were residing outside of Africa who had an issue with it because they wanted me to conform. Yeah, but no one had an issue with it with me here in Africa, and I was going about my daily business, doing my daily stuff, seeing my daily people, and no one had an issue with it. And so that was amazing because I know that had I have been in the UK, you know, they'd have been, oh, is there something wrong? Are you feeling well? And they start to question your mental health. They start to question all these other things. And, you know, I'm sure that a lot of you have seen the diatribe that's been going on online by certain people. And of course, you know, this goes down to their own issues, but not down to my issue. That was so empowering for me. That was so empowering for me. So yes, I've gone back to my looks, but yes, I'm powering through on being me and what I'm comfortable with. Because, you know, for 10 years I had locks. So, you know, but there I felt, you know, I was being stopped because people had stereotypes about people with locks. and it became an issue with regard to work and other things. And so these were issues, you know. And so assessing my looks here, because I see people on billboards who look like me, people on TV who look like me, going to the bank people look like me, going to the school people look like me, you know, the president is black like me, vice president, she's black like me, you know. So you don't have the same issues. I don't have an issue of what looks professional, what doesn't, because when I'm walking into the market, I'm walking whatever, people are dressing and wearing how they feel and what they want. So there's not that judgment anymore. So being here is a great game changer. The angry black woman, yes, I'm not as angry as I used to be. So maybe being here, having peace, tranquility, and being among my own, I'm not so angry. Not to say that I don't want change, but maybe the modus operandi is different. And I do get angry when I see certain things, especially abroad. And especially when I saw this and heard some of this, it upset me to think that our people are still suffering like this when we have a choice. Booger, we have a choice. Yeah? And if we was to get it together financially, we could really make that choice. And so nobody really touches my hair here, and it's not fair. No one's condescending or looking down their nose at me. So that is also a really wonderful thing. That's another game changer. Colorism doesn't affect me here, because when everybody's black, how does it affect you? It doesn't really affect you. It doesn't, you know, I do see women who bleach, and that concerns me simply because I'm worried about, you know, the fact that they're not loving themselves the way they are. You know, we have to love ourselves the way we are, regardless of however we look. Yeah, whether you're born light, whether you're born dark, it doesn't matter. You're black, be proud, and that is it. So that doesn't really affect me. I don't have to look at exceptionalism, because I don't have to be exceptional. White supremacy doesn't affect me in the same way as it does there, because I'm not living in an environment where I'm being controlled by my employer telling me when I can go to work, when I can have a holiday. Sorry, my nose keeps running. You know, I don't feel degraded. I don't feel as though I have to, like I said, code switch. I don't feel the same. I feel as though I see the opportunities here. When I went to Tap City, when we went to the opening and we saw all of those, you know, the people that were the main investors, what did you think? They were all black. They were all black, all African. And it was just empowering to see. And I wouldn't have seen that if I was standing in the UK. I wouldn't have seen that. I wouldn't, you know, we wouldn't even be here working alongside with Uncle Taff, and especially Taff City. And I keep saying it, get involved, please. For those people that have been contacted, please respond, get back involved, and, you know, don't waste time doing it. It's very important. You know, do I feel privileged to be here? The answer is yes. There's no doubt about it. But do I feel as though, you know, I'm privileged over other people? Then no, because here you'll see people that are far more wealthier than you, far more successful than you, and they look just like you. So all you do is you appreciate their success, you love their success, and you want to learn from them. But what is better than having role models who look like you? So this whole element of how do we stop jealousy, how do we stop the gossiping and the bad mind, is to really start aiming at excellence for ourselves by using the example of others, rather than looking at our failure and feeling as though, oh, I'm going to be resentful about Juliet because of the car she drives, or I'm going to be feeling resentful about Adrian because of the car he drives, or I'm going to feel resentful because of the house they live in, or the swimming pool they have, or the life they have. You know, instead, let's, you know, aim and go for it for ourselves. Let's make a decision that I'm going to drive a top range car, regardless of wherever it comes from, whoever makes it.
Instagram, somebody else.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it's XIT and BLA. It's the opposite way around because I did it wrong. But anyway, there is, you know, there is that struggling to find your place. You don't have to struggle to find your place there because you already belong. So that's another game changer. You already belong. Yeah. I'm going to hand over to Age. I've just got a couple more points left, and then I'll be saying goodbye. But decoding whiteness, I don't. And that's another thing. I don't. We spend most of our lives living in the UK, having to decode whiteness. Now we're having to decode other things like working out our culture, working out our language, working out where how we fit into a new society. So you're no longer decoding how you fit into the white man's society or trying to belong or trying to assimilate, trying to be something that you're not. You are now trying to be who you are. Another game changer, big game changer. You're no longer learning Queen's English.
Just block here.
It's total block.
The other one.
Is there another one?
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone. Okay, sorry about that.
It's there. Just block it. Oh, block it. Why they come with this now?
Disgusting. Anyway, we probably know who it is anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Just block.
No, it wasn't doing it. That's why I'm doing it now.
Sorry about that. It's just
Sorry. So decoding. Yeah. Othered. Do I feel othered? No. Do I feel bothered? Let's put B on it. No. I'm not bothered anymore.
But remember, when you're talking about a game changer, you have to know we're going to talk about a game plan.
Thank you.
Yes, because we have to know our game plan.
Yeah, I haven't.
We understand the changes, but we have to know what plan we're going to put in place.
Right.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
Yes.
Don't let me stop you.
So the game changer is one thing. Yes, but we now need a game plan. I'm more believing in planning. Let's move. We could talk about changes, but we have to plan. Let's create our own game. Because this is what I'm more interested in, When we're going to get to that point, as our Marcus Garvey was saying, self-reliance. As Bob Marley was saying, collective security for surety. Yes? We have to come out of the rat race. Because you're in a rat race.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what position you place in that race, you're still a rat. Yes? So we need to come out of the rat race. You see, it's not easy, yes, to pack up your life and move across to the continent to live. It's not an easy move.
No.
And we have to respect those who have done it.
Yes.
Because there are many people that have done it, and we must respect them. You understand? But the problem, what I'm saying, the unity that we need to have is not really the way we should be. Yes? And when we get this down, when we really get it down, we're gonna see a lot of things progressing more and more. And this will help encourage more and more people to come home. When you look at our way black people now financially, many black people out there have the money. But some might not want to take that risk. But we have to take a risk. We must take that risk. If you don't take that risk, you don't know what you could change. We must take it. It's a gamble. Life itself is a gamble.
Yeah.
But then you still have to know when to hold on. You still have to know when to walk away. And you must know when to run. Yes. But it's a gamble that you have to take. Most successful people in life, when you listen to their life story, that they're big risk.
Yeah.
Some of them went down to being a pauper and end up building themselves back up because of their mindset. So that's why I keep focusing on mindset. We have to have a mindset, and we have to look at it. How could we have the most resourceful continent in the world? Still begging. What had brought us to this? In the abundance of everything.
Let's get tissue. Yeah.
Why we're still begging outsiders that come in here to raid Africa? So the game change is one thing, but now let's come with the game plan. Let's see how we're going to work, how we're going to move forward, how we're going to control our industries, how we're going to control the natural resources of Africa, how we're going to do that. Firstly, we can't just walk in and think, whoop, we're going to take it away from the mother race because they set up themselves financially. They set up themselves with power, ammunition. You understand? Yes. So physically, we can't even think about getting into war with them. No. What we need to do is focus on ourselves.
Exactly.
Yes, and this is why Marcus Garvey did ask for 50 years
Unmolested.
unmolested. So we could get time to focus on ourselves. And this is what's important for us as African people. When we start focusing on ourselves. You know, when we start loving each other. Yes, when we start, well, listen, unity is end up could be a myth. You might never see total unity. Yes? So that's why I always go for race loyalty. Race loyalty means that I'm not going to betray you over another race, regardless of what problems we have. Because this is what other races do. They don't betray their race to no one else. Even though they're at war, they're still going to support each other. And this is what we need to get to that stage. No matter what we're going through, we still have to support each other first before we support somebody else. And when we develop those mindsets, it means that our resources will be circulating in our community 10, 15 times like the Chinese, like the Indian, like whatever. Because you know the resources circulate in the community many times before it come out. But for us, in 1 minute, other minute is out.
Yeah.
You don't even stay 24 hours within our community. You see? So the game plan is how we're going to keep our resources within ourselves. I must say a few people coming up with African leaders and all of that. Sometimes I don't even like to go down that road because we ourselves could work together. We could work it out too. You know? At the end of the day, it's we that are vote for the leaders and put them there.
Exactly.
So we have to find a way how we're going to work it out. I work with leaders however we have to. All of us is in it together. It's not about pointing finger on the leader. We all understand, we're all in it together. Community togetherness is stronger than any leadership. You see? Back in the villages is stronger than any leadership. But we have to start uniting that way. You understand? Because when you work together as a community, you could do a lot. You know? So what I'm saying now, the game changer will come, but we also have to have a game plan.
Yeah.
As to how we're going to move forward.
I want to add to that as well. Well said, Adrian. I've got to give him a round of applause. I've dropped my pads. Hang on. Right. What I wanted to say is that someone said play it like the previous winner. Now, the issue that we have with playing it like the previous winner is that the previous winner knows all the rules, made the game. And so it's not going to work because you can't play it the way that they played it, and because time has moved on. So for us, that is not feasible. Yeah. Winner when you change the rules so that you can win. So what position are we in to create new rules for their game? It doesn't make any sense because you can't change the rules in someone else's game because they're already playing it. Yeah. We don't have race solidarity. You know, you're talking about race priority. We don't have race unity. We don't have, we don't have a commonality. We don't have a common purpose. And we certainly don't understand our enemies. Because when it came to asking about decoding, what was the question here? Decoding whiteness, we still went to blackness. Because while they've been studying us, we haven't been studying them. Yeah. And so I think that what we're going to do is look at, if the game's already rigged against you, play a different game. Yeah. So we need our own game. When I was looking at, I'm not sure if you've been looking at NFTs and non-refundable tokens and blockchain and different investments that are going on now, and Acoins and Bitcoins and looking at all the different types of new and new and different types of currencies, if you like, electronic currencies, digital currencies, and also different types of systems that are recurring, that are coming up. So games are changing, but where are we in terms of creating our own game? That's where I'm going to end, is like by asking us some questions. There's a great reset going on right now. Where is our reset? You know, where are our scientists doing our research on the things that are out there? Yeah. The fact of the matter is that you don't need to play the game. You need to get out. Okay? You don't need to play that's the big game changer. You don't need to play the game. It's time to get your own farm, get your own food, yeah, have your own resources, you know, get your own energy from the sun, get off the grid, get out the system, come back to Africa, change the game. There is cities being built. There's going to be a new, look at Rwanda, look at Kigali, look at Accra, yeah? Look at all of the new cities that there are, yeah, in Africa. Look how well they're thriving, yeah? Brand new cities being built in the Gambia. Taft City is being built, 5,000 new homes and all the facilities that you'll need. And, you know, you can buy a house for like £50,000 or an apartment for £50,000 or £70,000 for a beautiful 4-bedroom house. How can you, you know, I'm probably off with the prices, but, you know, because I haven't got a price list in front of my hand. So, you know, take that as an approximate price. But that's just to talk in hypothesis. You know, how can you, you know, and you can pay this off and you can live with your own people. How can you miss out on the opportunity without working together? So, you know, I'm going to say goodbye. And I really would like to talk about this topic again. So I'm going to go and watch the rest of the series of The Outsiders. And I suggest you to do too. And the next time, maybe that you can contribute on this topic with me and Adrian. Yeah. Sorry, we are missing some of the comments. So yeah, leave the West and come back to the best. That's right, Africa. And remember, the only way to eradicate racism is to leave it behind and to yeah, talking about the West. Yeah, you know, and so that's why I said leave the game and come and create your own one. Yeah, let's call this. You know, they have monopoly. Yeah, let's Africa gopoly. Yeah. So one love. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not a full-time YouTuber. So I've seen some of the comments. So I'm not a full-time YouTuber. This is something that I do as a passion. In terms of the income, it's not, you know, what people think it is, by the way. And also you can create all different types of passive income. I've actually been online recently looking at different opportunities that are available for people. And there are some really good African YouTubers that are based in the US and also the UK that have got some great opportunities working for different corporations online. So like I said, yeah, they have BlackRock and we have
YouTube
by word of Maya. It's like we're incidental influencers.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing that we had planned when we moved here. I didn't even know what vlogging was, to be honest with you.
No, but let's just say thank you to everybody who contributed to today's show. And like I said, if you would like to come on the next show, then please go onto YouTube Originals. And I'm just going to go look at what it's called. The Outsiders. Yeah, YouTube Originals, The Outsiders. And this one is there a game, and there are others. So next time you can come in and contribute, because obviously I would love to have played it, but unfortunately there were so many profanities that I wasn't able to edit it in time for today's live, and I really wanted to do a live every Thursday, so we can make this a regular spot every Thursday. So next time, please remember you can jump in and contribute. Don't be shy. This is why we put it on the screen and we put it inside the private chats that you can jump in. So thank you so much, Kwame. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you to everybody actually that has been on here. Africa Bound, Nick Zahui, thank you so much. African Empress, Rafa Yar Congo. Thank you so much. We will definitely keep up the good work. We want to thank you for your contributions to the show. Thank you, Travel with Tay Tay. If you haven't tuned into her channel, please do so. Travel with Tay Tay is a great channel, and she usually has lots of interesting content, and you can subscribe to her channel and watch her content. And I want to thank you for your gift. So I just want to say thank you for your $100 super chat. It's the biggest super chat we've ever had. And I want to thank Delano for your contribution, a huge contribution of €20 super chat. And thank you everybody that has contributed today's program. So one love, yeah.
Let them follow the dreams.
Halid Clouds said racism, misogyny, self-hate, leave it behind and get with your own kind. Love that. Love that. I just want to say also
thank you, Brian.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Travel with Tay Tay. One love back to you. And also Halid Clouds, thank you. Sunshine Jones, thank you. Oops, I've just pressed one. Sorry. Okay, and Halid Clouds, very nice name. And Pan-Africanist, I draw my last breath. I'm with you on that. And you are in great company. Like I said, today was the last day of the conference, the ICE conference, which was all about the Africa Free Trade Agreement and ensuring that our businesses can thrive within that. So thank you to everybody that has contributed. And Age, do you want to say last goodbyes before we go?
Yeah, thank you for everyone. And remember, follow your dreams. Come home, you know. What we're doing it for our younger generations. So we got to be a part of it. Africa is moving. Africa is changing. Look at Rwanda. You know, look at Ghana. Look at Gambia. Gambia is now changing. You know, the development I see now in Gambia compared to when I was coming here 10 years ago is moving. Africa is the way. Africa is where to be. You know, come be a part of it. Africa is moving.
You
know, sometimes I see people come on and say, oh, you don't have to wear a mask. I said, listen, we're free. We're free here in Africa. Yes, come get some of the freedom. But as I see people keep saying about money.
I want to say thank you to Sunshine Jones.
Thank you, Sunshine.
That's what we're going to say. Thank you
donation.
Very much for Sunshine
What I'm
Jones.
saying, sometimes you might surprise how things present itself to you in Africa. And if more of us come together and put our heads together, we won't have to worry so much about how we're going to make an income. Because our mindset should be of an investor, a business owner. Yes? So if you mean that some of us have to come forward first, and then others come behind. Yes? But one time knowing we all have to one day repatriate.
Of course.
Yes? Because the West will never be designed for us, no matter what we do. Yeah? As you can see, you had the civil rights movements. How many more movements we're going to have? And the last and final movement is
to the
one to Africa that Marcus Garvey was talking about.
Yeah.
So no more marches. The only march we need to do now is to the airport and come out. Yes? That's all I got to say.
Now, one more move to Taft City.
Yes, and look, Uncle Taft, realize what's needed. So what he's contributing again is to show you that you could come home and even preparing it for you. Even building affordable houses that you could come and buy a house and relax, and they're giving you the fast internet, they're giving you the reliable electric, He giving the constant water, and they taking away the myth that they are spreading out there about Africa. Yes, tough is right now on the road for building 1 million homes across Africa.
Sub-Saharan Africa.
So tough have you
in mind,
brothers and sisters out in the West, in his heart. Yes, tough is a game changer.
Total game changer.
Yeah, that's why you talk about game changing, to show you that Africa is as good as anywhere else. Right? And now he want to bring Gambia right up. And this new city gonna be doing that. As just the Akon is building a city. You know, and many more people now is trying to build cities in Africa. But TAF is doing it as well. And it's happening here in the Gambia. So come and join us. Save your money, buy yourself a house, and relax.
Yeah.
Yes?
We are planning in the future to also invest in TAF City. And we have put that forward as a proposal. And you can also put together, you know, your own proposal to TAF also. So just get in contact with us and let us know, okay? And our email address, I'll just quickly put it on the screen in case you didn't have it before, is info@blaxithome. Oops, Juliet, typo. blaxithome.com. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on the screen for you. And also, if you'd like to support us, we are on Patreon, and I'm in Patreon school at the moment. You'll be glad to know I've actually enrolled. I did miss the first class, though. I'm not going to lie, I forgot about it on Tuesday. But so I'm sorry about that. But I will be catching up, and we will be doing our line of merchandise and other things. I didn't know just how resourceful it was, so now I know. So hopefully we'll be putting out some exclusive content. We'll also be making use of the YouTube membership, and also putting out different shorts, because sometimes we have good content, but it's really too short to put on YouTube. So we're going to start using YouTube shorts a lot more. And I hope if you saw my namesake, did you see the baby? Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And they called her Juliet. So they didn't call her Nyancho, but they called her Juliet. So I just, you know, see, there's so many wonderful things that happen to you here. You have such a wonderful life here. And I am really, really enjoying my life here. And like I said, life in real life here is not YouTube. Just to let you know, it's not YouTube. And yes, things do take longer, and sometimes they do get delayed. And, you know, not everybody has the same work ethics as you do coming from the West. So, you know, patience, endurance, and, you know, just having your heart some tranquility, peace and love for your brothers and sisters, and everything will be just fine. And just be willing to learn. Willing to learn a new culture, willing to learn a new language, and be willing to enjoy and have fun too, because there's lots of that to be had here. I'm going to say to you, one love, yeah, peace and happiness to you all. I wish you prosperity. I wish you good health, and start to make your game plan. So today we talked about game changer. Next week we'll be talking about game plan. Yeah. So remember, anything to do with TAF City, there's our email address, info@blaxithome.com. And so we are here to assist and guide you with the process also. So it's info@blaxithome.com. Yeah. And of course we can assist with building a business in Africa. We can also signpost you to all of the support organizations here also. Yeah. So I'm going to say to you, one love. Yeah. And remember, we do love you. Okay. And we must love each other. That's one thing that we need. We really need to love each other. We need to respect each other. Yeah. Because if we love each other and respect each other, we're going to stop tearing each other down. Yeah. We're going to, you know, stop being horrible to each other and really start encouraging each other. Because when you have the foundation of love, that's how you build. When you have the foundation of respect, there are boundaries you don't cross. So on that, just remember the only way to eradicate racism yeah, is to leave it behind and come and live with your own kind. And please, 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 Taft City is the city for us.
Yes.
Okay, so I love you. And
Yeah, but you still have a big up Wodamaya. Yeah?
oh, listen, always big up Wodamai. If it wasn't for Wodamai, we wouldn't
And
be here.
brother Usman too.
Oh, listen, you will be having an exclusive with Osman. So please, please do watch the community page. If you haven't signed up to the Bla Xit community page, please do. We do post, so you know when we're coming live. We will be having a show with Osman. Okay, so that is already lined up. As soon as I get the time confirmed, I'll be put it on here, and we also have a couple other special guests that we will be bringing on as well. But I'm not going to say because they're big names, but big things are gone, as you know. Big things are gone. And we're also in election time at the moment, so it's election fever here. So it's quite exciting. And so we've been seeing a lot of influential people all over the place, and it's been great to have those interactions. And so just want to, like I said, say, you know, good night and love you. And thank you, Tay. Yeah. And let's say goodbye.
Yes.